Now, hang on. I'm trying to summon my inner Dr. Abati. Hang on. Joining us now is Nika Okpe.
No.
Did I ruin it?
You forgot Ginny.
No, I was coming to Ginny.
Okay, do it again. Okay. Okay, let's do it again.
Joining us now is Nika Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Janet.
I love it.
I was getting to
100%. You are something else. I'm buying you a drink tonight. How are you?
I'm fine, darling. How are you?
You look lovely.
So do you.
Good morning, Rufai. How are you?
Janet.
I'm sure you made Tundu's day with this. I will tell you it's fuchsia.
Yes.
Oh, I did it right.
My favorite color in the whole world.
Oh.
Well, all right. Good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In the United States, a camp where almost 15,000 migrants had walked along the Texas border has become dramatically smaller. On Thursday, the Department of Homeland Security said about 1,400 Haitian migrants were deported to Haiti on 13 flights under the Pandemic Public Health Authority, known as Title 42. In Afghanistan, Mullah Noureddin Turabi, one of the founders of the Taliban and the chief enforcer of its harsh interpretation of Islamic law, on Thursday said the hardline movement will once again carry out executions and amputation of hands, though perhaps not in public, signaling a return of the Taliban's harsh rule of the late 1990s. In India, the police are looking for 9 suspects accused of raping a 15-year-old girl who was allegedly gang raped on several occasions by up to 33 men. According to reports, the attacks took place at various locations in the Thane district of Maharashtra state. The police have arrested 24 people and detained 2 minors in connection with the case. Protesters gathered on Thursday outside the police station where the men are being held to protest against the attack. Under sports, Nigeria's female basketball team, the Tigress, on Thursday qualified for the semi-finals of the ongoing 2021 FIBA Women's Afrobasket in Yaoundé, Cameroon, after defeating Ivory Coast 72-56. The team finished top of Group B with wins over Mozambique and Angola, and then maintained their high-flying form against the Ivorians to achieve defeat for the 3rd consecutive time. Finally, under entertainment, actor Daniel Craig, who had featured in 5 installments of the 007 James Bond action thrillers, has been made an honorary commander in the Royal Navy, matching the on-screen rank of 007. It comes ahead of the premiere of the newest Bond installment, the repeatedly delayed No Time to Die, which marks Craig's last outing as the famous spy.
I have to finish this. You ever flown like this?
Nope. Over to you.
We can't wait.
Cannot wait.
We can't wait.
I see you shaking
Oh
and
my
screaming.
God.
Yeah.
Shaken and
Well,
stirred.
congratulations to Daniel Craig.
Yes,
really.
he deserves
it.
it.
Absolutely.
007 for life.
Yes.
For life.
Well, it's his last outing.
Yeah.
That's it. Very sad.
But the franchise
But they did right.
will move on.
It definitely
Getting
will.
Somebody
It's gonna
very,
last
very
forever.
good, just like him.
Yes.
You know.
Idris Elba.
I'll be happy with
I'll be happy. Black Bond.
with a black bond. Yes.
You know.
Right.
Someone that will bond all the Bond fans.
Absolutely. Well, all right. Let's begin what's trending in Nigeria. Professor Banji Akintoye, the chairman of the Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination, a Yoruba group, has accused the federal government of paying black foreigners living in the United States $500 per head to stage a pro-Buhari and a One Nigeria march opposite the United Nations headquarters in New York today, as President Muhammad Buhari prepares to address the 76th session of the United Nations General Assembly. Professor Akintoye said the federal government's plan is to counter the Million Man Freedom March protest the group planned to hold today at the United Nations. While following the accusation, a new video has emerged where a man confessed to taking part in a pro-Buhari protest which took place at the United Nations earlier this week. Let's take a look at the video before we come back for a discussion.
I just want to know what is going on today.
Well, this is protesting for Nigeria.
Oh, for Nigeria?
Yeah.
For a stronger Nigeria. Say Nigerian Christian, not target of genocide or ethnic cleansing. So what part of Nigeria are you from?
I'm not.
You're not a Nigerian? So how then you're not a Nigerian and you're protesting for Nigeria?
Well, anybody's black, you know what I'm saying? I protest for them.
But you know, when you got to protest with the information and the stuff that is happening.
No.
So how do you know that Nigerian Christians are not the target? How did you know that?
I don't know.
So why then do you have the placard?
Well, look, I'm going to tell you something. Me, I protest for anybody. I help a lot of people.
So you were paid to do this?
Yeah.
Or you were paid to do this?
Yeah, I just joined them with everybody.
Because you did not know.
Black, white.
No, I understand. It is good to support brothers, to support the culture, but also it is also good to protest and pass the right information, right?
It's a lot of information going out here, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people twist a lot of things up.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure what.
But you got to do a little bit digging.
But however, you know what I'm saying? I'm just here to help everybody out.
I understand that. It's not your problem. It's not your fault. You're doing what they asked you to do.
Oh God, this is so embarrassing, Tundu. I mean, when I saw this video, I could not believe that this man was actually paid to do this.
I have to say I'm mortified.
Yeah.
I'm so embarrassed. I mean, are we this desperate in the federal government to do this kind of thing? We're doling out placards, Nigeria, like the brand, the face mask. With all that money and all that energy, it should have been channeled in the proper direction, which is to address the issues that the agitators are raising. I believe in a one Nigeria, but I'm sorry, not on any terms. Every union, whether it's a marriage, whether it's a country, must be constantly negotiated. You must create a case for that union, and you must communicate a case for that union. It has to be about cooperation. It has to be about respect of our diversity. It has to be about shared aspirations. Otherwise, what exactly is the point? And I always talk about a recent statement that Gordon Brown made that I really appreciated. He said, even the union of England, Wales, Northern Ireland, and Scotland, that's, gosh, hundreds of years old, millennia old, cannot be taken for granted, and that Boris Johnson should hold some kind of meeting where people can discuss these things, and he should chair that by himself. I wish President Buhari would do that, because it's been the theme of this morning. National unity right now is in tatters. I have never seen Nigeria like this. I wasn't born at the time of the Civil War, so maybe other people have. I personally have not, and I'm worried. So instead of addressing the issues and allowing people to have their rights, this attempt to suppress them, this attempt to rubbish them, is simply going to backfire, and it has backfired. It's embarrassing.
Are we saying there are no genuine people that come out to protest against this one or this million-man march that is coming out? Is that what we're saying, Rufai?
If they have to pay you for your convictions, then you have no convictions. Simple as ABC. So that man is just a hustler. And I was laughing because that money is too much.
Well, this one was the one. We don't know if they paid this guy the $500.
So how much
Professor Akintoye is saying the match today, they're planning to counter it by paying people $500 for today.
You could get a crowd for $500
for 1 hour job
per head.
in New York.
That's what he's claiming.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's not deceive ourselves.
Get a good crowd.
Have you ever wondered, in the same America they always have something every year called the State of the Union Address. And the president will always end with, the State of the Union is strong. Because he understands what he is saying. Because America was not the cohesive America you know today. And America is still very divided. We forget that they fought a civil war because of slaves. Black people. The southern part wanted slavery to continue. The north wanted otherwise. Then they went to war. And it was after an election dispute, after Abraham Lincoln's election, the Civil War started. Britain, like you talked about, despite the fact that they want the United Kingdom to remain, They're already making plans for if Scotland decides to leave.
Yes.
In fact, there are conversations about taking the nuclear deterrent, the Trident, out of Scottish waters and relocating to Gibraltar if Scotland leaves. So that's to show you that nothing is cast in stones about every union. You need to talk, and that's why we keep saying we need to talk. And we need to talk because we believe this country can be salvaged. Like I keep saying, I don't have another passport. It's only one passport we'll have. So please, government, talk to these agitators. There's a reason why they are talking.
Yes.
Absolutely, I agree with you. We'll take another story. A viral video that has now caught the attention of the Nigerian army shows a female army officer identified as Lieutenant Chika Anele pouring muddy water on a youth corps member who she had accused of flouting an order. In the video, the youth corps member, who goes by the name Ezeyaku Fidelia, was seen kneeling before Lieutenant Chika while the muddy water was being used to dehumanize her. Let's take a look. This is so heartbreaking. I am so grateful for the person who filmed this video because we will not have known. It will have just been a mere allegation. I mean, I'm glad that the army has responded, but I don't know if the punishment is enough for this Chika, Lieutenant Chika Anele, who dehumanized her colleague. I mean, how could you do that to a woman? It's really appalling, Tundu.
It's completely disgraceful, but I'm gratified that the army issued that swift response.
They did, yes.
They denied any kind of a cover-up. They gave an unreserved apology to the corporal and to her family, and also talked about punitive measures that will be taken. So I went and had a look at the Armed Forces Act because I want to know what those measures will be.
Right.
And Part 12 of the Armed Forces Act, I don't know which one they're going to use. There's several offenses that this kind of behavior could fall under that Part 12, Sections 48, 55 to 57, 91 to 93, but each one of them carries a maximum term in prison of 2 years. And I hope that this is seen to its logical conclusion and she does serve a term. Whether the maximum or whether a few months, there needs to be an example made of this kind of person, this kind of disgrace to her uniform.
Yes.
It's important. So I hope that they actually take action. I recall a story that you brought, OG, I think it was last year, of a soldier that was dancing and then got arrested for posting a picture of himself, a video of himself dancing. Now, if a dancing soldier can be arrested, then surely this person needs to be prosecuted and jailed.
Yes. I hope they give her the full extent.
You know what I
of the
see?
law.
I see weakness in the eyes of Lieutenant Chika. You only dehumanize somebody because you are weak yourself. And that's what she has just shown. She should be dealt with, but I see weakness. You know the stronger person here? The lady that was on the ground, that kept her composure.
She did keep her composure.
That's the stronger person here.
Yes.
So it's an indication that if you think you can dehumanize other people, then you are weak yourself. No matter the flouting of others, there are better ways to address and talk to people. And that's why I keep insisting in this country, we need to talk to one another. But by you pouring muddy water on her, you think you've disgraced her? But in the end, see the way the world turns?
Yes.
You disgrace yourself. So that's why we should be careful in life. You think you can bring people down because you're in power today? You disgrace yourself.
It's really good that the army responded as swiftly as they did, like you said. We'll take another story. Reactions are trailing the lawsuit filed by Precious Chukwendu, the estranged wife of Nigeria's ex-Minister of Aviation, Femi Fani-Kayode, who is seeking the enforcement of her fundamental human rights. Precious, who joined the Inspector General of Police and the Federal Capital Territories Commissioner of Police in the lawsuit, is claiming the sum of 800 million naira in damages for the roles they allegedly played in intimidating and harassing her during the pendency of her custody suit. She has asked the court to restrain the Inspector General of Police and his officers from intimidating and harassing her in any form, pending the hearing and determination of her earlier suit seeking the custody of the 4 children she had with Fani Kayode. There's been a lot of accusations against Femi Fani Kayode, especially from, maybe family members. This type of harassment, I mean, we cannot, judge. We don't know what the actual situation is. But for a woman to come out in public and actually tender that type of accusation against Femi Fani Kayode, I think it should be looked into, really.
Well, I do too. The allegations are really disturbing.
Yes.
But beyond that, I'm not going to utter another word because I just don't know the facts.
Yes.
But yes, I do hope that the court, who is seized of the facts,
Absolutely.
will address her concerns.
Yes. Rufai, your take on the story?
It's another sad one. These same people used to be best of lovers. How did the love go sour? I remember seeing a couple of videos of both of them.
Yeah.
Having a great time, even being part of the struggle for the Southeast. But all of a sudden, love has gone south. They'll fix it, but most importantly, for me, the future of the children is always what I'm concerned about. They've got 4 boys together. Please, whatever both of them do, they should ensure that nothing happens to the future of those children. Please, they should work it out amongst themselves.
All right. Well said, Rufai. We'll take our final story. In the United States, following the large-scale expulsions of Haitian migrants to their homeland in the past week, the Biden administration's special envoy to Haiti, Daniel Fouté, resigned in protest on Thursday. Fouté, who was appointed to the position only in July following the assassination of Haiti's President Jovenel Moise, wrote to the Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, that he was stepping down immediately with deep disappointment in the United States' decision to deport thousands of Haitian refugees and illegal immigrants to Haiti, calling it inhumane and counterproductive. Criticism has been fueled by images that went viral this week of Border Patrol agents on horseback using aggressive tactics against the migrants. Tundu, I know we've discussed this together, but not on television. And this is, for me, when I first saw it on Sunday happen, where they deported 300 Haitians, I was shocked. I got goosebumps watching that video of 3 flights taking those people, given the fact that we can see that Haiti just experienced all of those earthquakes that happened just recently. Why would they do this? They call it, it's not a deportation, it's an expulsion. I mean, the White House is, defending this move. And I see no reason why this is happening the way it's happening. And I am still just waiting for Joe Biden to speak, really.
He has said nothing.
Yes.
For me, this is his own children in cages moment that happened in the Trump presidency. And if this was Donald Trump, everybody would be shouting about how he's so racist. But I don't see how Joe Biden can be excused from this kind of thing.
Yes.
I am very upset. And I think it's because they're Black people. Even Black people don't rate our fellow Black people. This story hasn't gotten the kind of mileage, the kind of coverage that I feel that it deserves. When it was Afghanistan, we all discussed it. We all devoted column inches and all kinds of TV analysis. But Haiti, our fellow Black people, crickets. We have accepted that Black people should be treated like animals, and it's completely wrong. Daniel Foote is to be commended for stepping down, and that has then sort of expanded the life of this story in the news cycle, because the U.S. envoy is disgusted by his own government. I mean, you see this imagery of people on horses flogging Black people, scenes that I haven't been seeing since the antebellum South. I mean, you just referred to the Civil War, and this is 2021. They are fleeing. We saw the natural disaster that happened. I remember having to mention it on this show, and it was just last month, because it wasn't a topic on this show, but I felt the need to talk about, hey, there's an earthquake that's happened in Haiti. Hello, it's not all about Afghanistan.
Yes.
These are people that look like us. So I really worry about how Black people are treated in this world on every level and the way we treat each other. They are also fleeing gang violence. Who are the people doing the gang violence? It's their fellow black people doing it to them. The natural disaster, the grinding poverty. Thankfully, some Haitians have been allowed to stay in the United States. Over 1,000 of them, they're being processed. But some have just been expelled from the country. Look at this desperation.
1,400 of them.
It hurts me. And then the myth of American exceptionalism, whereby America feels that they're more moral than other nations, is exploding right before our eyes. How are you moral? And your president has not seen fit to say a word about that. He was talking to the United Nations General Assembly, talking about human dignity. He can't even give a few words on this subject. It's disgraceful.
Just a few words.
It's disgraceful.
Because America doesn't care. I mean, Tundu, you talked about those horseback videos. Pretty much, for me, in my head, I just remember the days the likes of Toussaint Louverture was still fighting for the independence of Haiti. And it goes back to that point.
Yes.
And Haiti has gone through a lot. Papa Doc Duvalier, that the Americans supported. Baby Doc, Estrade, that's the same way. So America only does things that favor them. Even the killing of Jovenel Moise, America has been fingered in there. So it's always about America in the end. And that's why we keep calling on leaders like leaders of Nigeria. Please, do not put us in a place where we have to depend on America for anything, because it will be disastrous. They will leave you.
Statue of Liberty, that poem, The New Colossus. You know, I love a poem. Bring me your poor and huddled masses yearning to breathe free. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. They'll send you straight back to your country.
The land of the pilgrim's pride.
We'll keep monitoring the story and hope that something is done. I'm waiting to hear from Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I have for you on what's trending today. See you tomorrow.